Hey everybody, how are we? It's 8:30. Actually, it's 8:32, so I'm a little late. So, just wanted to hop in here. I will wait a little bit to get everybody in and started, and I'm also going to. Okay. You guys are sitting on my laptop. You can see that? That's kind of tacky. Hey, doctor. Um, yeah, so we're gonna try it from the phone tonight so we can see if we will not lose our signal. So I am gonna share this out to one other place real quick. How am I gonna not have this sitting on my computer, you guys? Let's see. Doctor, you weren't in here probably yesterday, but I kept losing my signal. Let's try it. Oh, it's not gonna work. Okay, can you not see my computer? All right, so we will get started. I'm gonna get started in about 5 minutes. What did you guys do today? Hey, girl. Hey, Cassidy, can you tell me, can you not see my computer now? Are we all good there? Because I had to do some different things so we don't lose signal. So funny. Can you hear me okay? And everything. Oh, we can't do that, can we? Let's wave at everybody. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome night. And work. You guys, what am I gonna do? I'm glad it's just the two of you right now. Let's see if it stays. All right, so we're gonna get started because I know some people. Okay, perfect. Thank you, sweetheart. I know some people cannot jump on tonight. So for those of you that do not know me, I'm Jamie Marie, and welcome. This is the second night of Rewrite Your History, your life story. I'm sorry, and we're gonna get started. I came all natural because of what we're gonna talk about tonight. We're gonna talk about finding clarity and self-alignment. Okay, and one of my things for self-alignment is I love to have makeup on. I love to look cute. I love to look pretty. But it's absolutely not 100% authentic. Typically, I have makeup on and my hair done when I feel not so confident. Okay, so I came in yesterday with all that on so that I could get past that first live. And now, girls, we're going to do it this way. Okay, so this is part of me being authentic and really in alignment with myself. So that is why all natural. I'd really like to be in my pajamas, but I'm not. So we are going to get started. Just a quick reminder, you guys can get the workbook inside of the Facebook group. I put that there, or you can check your email as well. I did send that out. I sent it out rather late, but I did get that out to you guys. You can get that, print it out. It's really pretty. Anybody that's print savvy, ink savvy, I printed mine out in black and white, so you guys can do that as well, or print it out in color. Either way is fine, but I would encourage you guys to follow along with us, go through the training materials as we go through, and if you have to hop out or you have to pop back in, you can pick up where you left off with the homework and the workbook, okay? So remember, every night at 8:30, I love having you guys join me. I love having you talking with me, communicating back and forth. And it's definitely also not too late to invite your friends. So invite your friends to the party. And hopefully tonight we won't lose Wi-Fi like we did last night a few times. But definitely anything that resonates with you while we are speaking tonight, drop that in the comments so that I can see that. If I miss it, I'll come back to it and I will definitely speak to that, but definitely let me know what stands out, okay? I'm super excited. Last night was on fire. I could not sleep all night long. Actually fell asleep with my computer in my lap because I just couldn't stop working. I was excited. So if you guys catch the replay, use the hashtag replay so that I know you were here. And let's get started. So tonight we're gonna talk about finding clarity, okay, and self-alignment. And that is so, so important in life. And we hear it all the time, but what does it really truly mean? And clarity for you and self-alignment for you may look differently than what it does for myself or for your family or for your coworkers. So that's why we truly have to dig deep, look inside of our own hearts and our own morals, our own priorities, and identify what really matters to us. And that also is going to help us rewrite our life story, because then we'll know these things are important. So we're going to discuss that tonight. I think I shared it last night, but I'm going to tell it again just in case anybody missed it. But there was a time that I felt like I had to be a stay-at-home mom, okay? I felt like that's what all moms did. And also, another example I think I also shared is I felt like I had to be at every school event for my children, because that's what I saw all the moms doing. I was comparing myself to them, that comparison trap, right? And also the imposter syndrome, because I don't have to be those ladies. You don't have to be those women that you see on social media, that you see in the grocery store or at the schools, okay? You have to find what works for you, what makes you aligned, and then you have to flow through that and into those things. So quickly, as I started talking with some friends and my therapist at one point as well, we really discussed, why did I feel like I had to do those things? And really it came down to a matter of expectations that I had placed upon myself because of society that I didn't need to do, okay? Nobody should dictate who we need to be. I didn't have to be a stay-at-home mom. I felt that was expected of me to be a good mom. I felt that I had to go to all school events to be the good mom, okay? So that is an expectation, and operating from a place of expectations of society rather than authenticity to myself. And let me tell you, it was miserable. And I'm sure if you guys are in that position at any point in your life right now, it feels yucky, right? It just doesn't feel right because we're out of alignment. And if you can imagine your body, and when your body is out of alignment, what does that feel like? It feels horrible, right? So I really encourage you to work with this workbook. Last night was awesome and amazing. We're going to go through tonight, and then once you pull those two together, I think you'll be able to see some of the missing pieces start to fall together. But yesterday we looked at living our passion with gratitude rather than the expectations. And tonight we're going to look at the way that you can really start to rewrite your life story. We're going to dig in tonight. And I hope you guys can stay with me. If not, please feel free to catch the replay and let me know in the comments as you watch what really struck a chord with you, what resonated in your heart. And this has helped so many women. I'm gonna get casual here, okay? It's helped so many women, and it's something that I see a massive gap as women in society, that we walk around and we feel like we have to do this and we have to do that, we have to be this person, we have to be that person, but we don't. We have to stand out in our authentic purpose to make a massive impact in the world. The work that we do is not going to be impactful unless we're being true to ourselves. So imagine if I came on here and I talked really slow and really boring. It wouldn't work. That's not who I am. If I get excited, you're going to feel my energy, and you may be the same way, and that's okay. And actually, Cassidy and I were talking earlier, and we were talking about how, we felt like we were doing XYZ wrong, or maybe XYZ could be better. But in true and real honesty, we have to be us. Right? We can't change who we are, because then the people that we're meant to impact are not going to be drawn to us. The people that you're meant to impact, that you're meant to touch their lives, are going to be drawn to you for you. They're not going to be drawn to me. They're going to be drawn to you because you're you. And we have to really, really work on making sure that we live in self-alignment with clear, definite clarity. And it takes work. I'm not gonna lie, it takes work. It takes time, it takes commitment. You really have to process a lot of things, and I'm here to walk you hand in hand through that over the next few days, actually, next few days, as we go through this workshop. And I'm always here. If you need to talk something through that we talk about, drop me a DM. I love to talk to you guys. I am committed to helping you, but will you make that commitment to yourself? And that's the most important thing. I can give you all the tips and all the strategies that you need, but if you are not committed to you, it's not going to work. The things you've tried up to this point probably haven't worked yet. So we have to really, really make a commitment and sit with what we feel so that we can get the work done. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's look at the workbook. So stepping out in authentic purpose leads us to making decisions and choices that are authentic and in alignment. Okay? It's going to impact your work and changing lives. So what impact would you like to make? What impact would you make if you had no boundaries? Money was an issue. Time wasn't an issue. Shame wasn't an issue. What impact would you want to make? And have you ever done something maybe that's out of alignment, that feels yucky, and you do it and you're like, oof, that didn't feel good? Okay? One of the questions in your workbook is, how did that make you feel? What did you feel? Because by identifying what you felt, I think I put this, by identifying this, what it feels like, you can begin to use that as a way to measure the decisions that you're making if they feel authentic and in alignment. Okay? Because if you get a check in your gut, I honestly, you guys are probably think I'm crazy, but that's okay because I am. I'm crazy fun. I have had a situation where I started to go out of town to Kansas City. No big deal. I've done it thousands of times. And I started to turn on the on-ramp. And as I started to turn onto the on-ramp, I felt a massive just check in my gut of don't turn. Okay? And it was like it literally felt like there was a concrete wall there. Like, don't go. Don't go. I didn't understand. But I followed that because I've learned through this process to listen to what I feel. And lo and behold, I stayed home, of course. I didn't go. I could have easily went up and turned around and came back, and went a different way, but I didn't. I listened to that. And my daughter ended up in the hospital a couple hours later. Had I went to Kansas City, I would not have been home to be with her in the hospital in that time that was scary. So this can show up in many different ways in our life. We just have to learn how to read and how to recognize those things within ourselves. Okay? So the benefits of finding clarity in who you are allows you to make decisions and choices that are authentic and in alignment. Okay? That is very empowering, very freeing. And Cassidy, I'm going to read that real quick. Hold on. I am so slow at reading. Yes, it is. It's just like, what are you doing? Get back. I'm so glad that you feel that, and I'm sure that many others feel that as well. But I also know that at times I always felt awkward and weird, and that's the next thing in the workbook. I always felt awkward and weird, and I've had friends make fun of me for things like that because they're like, right, you can feel that? Yeah, I can. I can feel energy when I walk into a room as well, and I've always felt awkward and weird for that, and maybe that's you as well. So it allows you to not feel awkward. It allows you to not feel weird for feeling the way you do about things. Just like going to all those school events, okay? And being the home, what is it? See, I don't even know what it's called anymore because I don't go. The homeroom mom, right? Okay? I used to feel so guilty because I didn't want to go. No, didn't want to go. I no longer feel guilty because I knew that I had done my time when my boys were little. And now I needed, yes, empath struggles big time. But now I needed to let some other moms have that gift and have that time to do that with their kids. Okay, so I no longer feel guilty. If they call and ask me if I want to do it, I'll tell them yes. If I don't, I have no problem saying no. And that is such an empowering thing to be able to do in your life and in your decisions, and also not to feel awkward or different. Okay? And if anybody's like shaming me because I don't go to school events, I'm so sorry. I love you. Go do that thing with your kids. This mama has done it with her 2 of her 4. No more. Because for those of you that don't know, I'm also a substitute teacher during the day. So I'm with kids all day long, all night long. I don't want to go. Okay, I've done that. But again, this is a massive gap that I've identified over the last few years, because people, women are just really not, they're missing something, okay? And it's what's caused people to stay stuck in their story. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to stay stuck in my story. But you have to make that commitment to yourself, because it is hard. And sometimes it doesn't feel good. I had a situation today that we won't go into, but it didn't feel good, okay? But I had to sit with it and really reflect on what my alignment needed to be, how it fit within my alignment, and then make a decision from there to determine, okay, is this going to work for me, or is this going to completely jack up my moral compass, right? We all have a moral compass. We're going to talk about that. And so by doing that, I was able to get the clarity on my answer. And the person didn't like the answer, but I had clarity, and I knew without a doubt that it was okay, because it was authentic to me. Okay? So important for you guys to be able to reach that point. So there's thousands and thousands of women out there walking around saying, the same longing question of, but what am I supposed to do? What impact am I supposed to make, and where do I fit in? I'm so different. I just laughed at myself when I just said that, because I could see my face and my facial expressions. Some people might be like, whoo, that lady's crazy. Okay? No, this is me. I'm expressive. I could never, ever sit and talk to somebody and be boring. First of all, I look mad and old, but anyway, that was a squirrel. I squirreled out there for you. So anyway, thousands of women are saying, what am I made to do? What impact am I made to make in the world? And they have that longing in their gut. They just don't know how to find it. But also another benefit of finding clarity in who you are is it also allows you to make a decision based on authenticity rather than expectation. And I don't really think I need to go into that, because we talked about that a little bit already. But that's a massive thing, okay? If you're placing expectations upon yourself, you're always going to be disappointed if they're not in alignment with what you feel and with what you're designed to do. It also allows for a clear and firm understanding of our morals, our values, our personality traits, our habits, and our patterns. And through the framework that I have worked out, that I'm going to be sharing with you guys over the next few days, even just looking at, like, say, my personality trait or your personality traits, you're going to be able to see that alignment all start to come together and make that puzzle that we talked about last night, okay? All those pieces have to come together. And I'm going to show you how to do that so you can unlock those, so you can unlock your dreams and start living the life you want to live. Because who doesn't? Who doesn't want to? What is it that you would do if you could live the life you wanted? No boundaries. What would it be? Okay, so when we live life through a lens of expectation, it creates a lack of alignment, it creates shame, it creates fear and anxiety. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want those things. I don't want that in my life. I do my best to weed my garden, my personal life, garden and mind, of any weeds that cause any negativity. I don't want to live a life through a lens of expectation that's going to bring that negativity to me, okay? When we walk through a life with a lens of authenticity, it creates freedom and joy, confidence and purpose, impact. That's the life I want to live. And how about you? Is it possible that you could live a life that's authentic to you and fulfill your destiny and your purpose? I think it is. And I think you will. So when we look at the word authentic, though, you guys, are you learning that I'm a queen of definitions? When we look at the word authentic, traditionally, authentic refers to a work of art, right? That's what we usually would hear that word with, an authentic piece of art, okay? What that's referring to, it's an original. It's not a copy. Beautiful, you're not a copy. You don't need to copy. Be you. Be you. You're beautiful. Just be you and fall in love with you. So when we reframe that definition to life, what does that mean? Okay, we have to live an authentic, original. You're original. You're unique. There's only one you. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you have to be somebody else. You do not. You have a bold purpose to fulfill. Okay? I'm going to switch pages and then I'm going to take a drink. How are we doing, Cassie? Cassidy? Beauty is found within. Cassidy, oh my gosh. So my foot, I have a tattoo and it says, "Let me see beneath your beautiful." And actually down my side, I have "feel beautiful" as well. By the time I'm done, I'm going to have the word beautiful on my body like 10 times. Hold on. All right, so where was I? All right, so the word authentic. So how could you begin to step out in an authentic way? Who are you maybe trying to please instead of yourself? For some of you, it might be that you're trying to please your parents. It might be that you're trying to please your partner or your husband. It might be that you're trying to get just anybody to tell you that you're doing a good job. And guess what? I'm here to tell you I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for taking this step to come into this workshop and to learn how you can rewrite your story. I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing. You know why? Because you're showing up. You're showing up and you're doing the work. And that is a rock star. That's a rock star. So continue to make that commitment through the week. Don't fall behind and feel like, oh, I just need to give up. No, girlfriend, no. You keep on coming back and you catch up as you can. And if you're like me, girls, I shouldn't tell you this. This will probably weird you out. I keep my phone in the shower on the top and I watch videos while I'm showering. I don't have to be able to see. I can hear and still get the meaning, right? So I encourage you guys to do that. If you get behind, why not, right? You can totally do that. So with a clear and firm sense of self-clarity, authenticity, right? That's going to be a compass that's going to allow us to navigate choices and progress toward our goals. If we're not working in alignment, we can't work towards those goals that we want. Because you know why? They're always somebody else's goals. They're always somebody else's dreams. It's somebody else's vision. No, man, that's gonna make me cry. No. You can't live out somebody else's dreams. You can't live out somebody else's vision. You have to live out yours. No matter who tells you you can't. Because you can. And you're worth it. And you matter. And somebody needs to hear your story. Oh my goodness, you guys. Why'd that make me cry? Oh my gosh. Okay. We're getting real in here. And I actually know why, I think. Now we're really going to cry. when I started to really have this program downloaded into my heart, I had somebody, I said, I'm going to change the world one life at a time, one woman at a time, to a friend, a very close friend. And they looked at me and they laughed and they're like, a bit much, isn't it? It's a bit much. Isn't it a little big? Right? And I just kind of laughed it off. But it hurt. Because why did they feel that I couldn't do that? But you know what? It didn't matter. Well, it mattered that it hurt. But it didn't matter that they said that. Because they're not the one that can see thousands of women in conference rooms and stadiums. They're not the one that can see the women crying as they change their lives. They're not the one with that vision. And I encourage you tonight too. Your vision is there for a reason. Your vision is there for you, not anybody else. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Because girl, you can. Nothing's stopping you but you and your story. And we're going to work to change that. So let's wipe away the tears. Yes, I am definitely fulfilling a purpose. Yeah. And you guys see now why I say invite your friends. Bring them in. Because we as women have to come together and encourage each other to know that you're not alone, right? I don't want you to invite friends for me. I would do this if it was one person. I want you to do this because there are lives that need changed. Lives that are being held captive by their trauma. Lives that are being held captive by the things that people have said to them. We have to break free from that. And we can't do that without helping spread the word. By bringing people in. This is something that can transform thousands, hundreds of thousands of women. This is just a small part this week. A small part. Okay? So without clarity in our personal compass, life can become very, very rigid. Have you ever worked for a boss that just has expectations? They don't care about you. They're just like, get it done, get it done, get it done. Look at my faces. That is so funny. I'm so expressive. Okay? That rigidness of not knowing and not flowing in alignment is going to make an anchor, right? An anchor that holds us down when we're trying to sail forward towards our goals. I don't want an anchor tied to my waist. I don't want an anchor. That makes me think of a time clock. I hate punching a time clock. I hate it. It's an anchor to me because it's not in alignment with who I am. And I ask you, I don't think I even have a spot for it in the workbook, but as I'm talking, if you think of things and they come to you that are heavy for you, or the opposite, things that are like, for me, for the vision that I have, write them down. Write them down. This is how a vision starts. This is where a vision can be planted, is by finding out who you are. Don't ever stop writing those visions down, no matter how big you think they are. No matter how much you think you can't reach for them. Because you can. So now that I've completely squirreled out and went on a tangent of my heart and my passion, let's find out where I'm at. Okay, so we are on page 5 of the workbook, and number 5 over here. Okay, sorry guys. Society places expectations of us of who to be, how to act, how to dress, how to speak, what a job is, what a good income is. No. For me, I've had money. I had money, I was miserable. I've had the nice cars. I was miserable. No. You have to be in alignment with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to be spoiled, but I don't need things. I would rather have my family, my heart, and be operating in my purpose. Okay? So society places those expectations of who you're to be, while your soul places an authentic purpose deep inside. So would you rather be who society wants you to be, or would you rather be who you're made to be? You're made to be you. You're made to rewrite that story in a way that you can love you. You can love the life that you've lived in a whole different way. If we all were in a room and we raised our hands for trauma, we would all be and have gone through some kind of trauma. But they've made us who we are. Okay? Every step of your life journey is leading you to the next step. They're building blocks. Even the hurtful, painful ones. They're painful. But they are taking you where you need to be towards your purpose every day. I promise. And if I had a year to go through all of this with you guys, you would be like, wow, oh my gosh, I'm a whole new person. And I wish I did. I wish I had a whole year to go through this specifically with each of you. So no matter what you try to do, no matter how hard you try, you cannot and will not remove your specific purpose and calling from you. It's ingrained. You were born with it. It's not going to go away. No matter how hard you try. And girl, I've tried. Trust me, I've tried. I think I tried that day that my friend said, a bit much, isn't it? A little bit big. So many of us work with people who don't share the same cultural norms, or they have different expectations of how we should behave and who we should be. And it can often seem like we have to choose between what's expected and what's authentic. And we don't have to. I mean, yes, there's sometimes when we do have to do our expectations. I'm not saying don't. If you need to feed your kids, feed your darn kids, okay? But I'm not saying you have to like cooking. I don't like to cook. So just really work on those two words. So expectation, authenticity, and then gratitude and expectations. Those are the two we've compared and contrasted the last 2 nights. Okay, so ways to find clarity. Let's dig in. So this is where my life story rewritten framework comes in. Okay, and it's detailed. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's detailed, but we're gonna go through as quick as we can. Obviously, I can teach you the how and the what, but I can't teach you how to do it like this. Okay, it's something that's gonna take work, something that's gonna take time. So to start, you have to meet yourself. And you have to dive deep into your core foundation of your life. You have to look at all the pieces of your life to be able to put that puzzle together, right? When we put a puzzle together, we have a big picture on the box that we can see. So we know what we're working towards, okay? We have to be able to do that. And then we have to sort those puzzle pieces, right? We have to sort them to get them in the spots that they need to be so that we can, to put it together, it's easier. That's exactly what this framework is called. And if I could have done something like my life story puzzle framework and it not sounded cheesy, I would have. But I didn't. Okay, so you have to meet yourself. So you need to explore the current you by identifying the state in all areas of your life and being honest about it and about what you find joy and peace in and what brings you that heaviness, that anchor that we talked about a minute ago, the anxiety, the struggle, okay? And we have to begin to separate those. We have to be able to really see, okay, what brings me life and what brings me death? So the good and the bad. And like I said, as we're going through, if you have something hit you that comes to you, definitely use the notebook. I have extra note pages in the back that you guys can write on as well. If you're like me, I just write anywhere. But definitely write those things down, because you're going to start to see some patterns come up as we go through this week that you can really work through. So, my pages are out of order. My pages are out of order. Hi, Lizzie. I love you. So from there, after we really take time to evaluate our current life, okay, then we are going to go into exploring things like our foundation, like personality tests. You have to know what you were born with innately to be able to take those steps to walk into your purpose, into finding who you are, into rewriting your life story. Okay? So some of the things that I would suggest you do, or if you are working with me that we do inside my program, is the DISC test, an Enneagram test, the Kolbe, spiritual gifts, Myers-Briggs. If you haven't done Myers-Briggs, you got to do it. It's free. Just Google it. Let me know if you do, because I want to know what personality type you are. Okay? Because the personality type is the Myers-Briggs. It's going to give you so many different pieces of you that you're going to be like, oh, that's why I do what I do. That's why I feel different. Okay? I'm as flighty as can be. But if somebody gives me a business that they want to be built, I can do it. And I'll do it like that without being flighty. Well, okay. Sometimes I'm flighty with that too. But there's things that are just a part of us and a part of you that you can't take out of. You can't take it out of you. So some other things I had written down for you guys that you could do would be, there's a values and motives inventory test. There is also one that's called motive, values, and preferences inventory, and it looked pretty awesome. I haven't actually done that one. There's personality color style, and that also, like, I was a blue, and that gives you different things within your personality, but it gives you a color that indicates those things. Gosh, there's so many. Okay, so if you guys are interested in that, let me know, because I could just I could post it in the group with the names of the tests that I would suggest. And usually when you take one, they're going to have one that attaches, and you can do that one for free, and then you could do the next one for free. Some of them take 10 minutes. Some of them can take 25 minutes. But if you invest that time in yourself, I mean, let's be honest, guys. A lot of us just sit on the couch and scroll through Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok. If you're on TikTok, come on over. We sit there and waste all that time. Why not do something to work on finding out more about yourself? To open those doors, because with that, the results from those things, we can figure out a lot. Those are more of those puzzle pieces, okay? Puzzle pieces that we have to sort out to make our master puzzle. The masterpiece, the original, the authentic masterpiece of you. I need to write that down. Somebody write that down. I'm going to write it down right now. What'd I say? The authentic masterpiece of you. Okay, this was not planned. This isn't in my notes. Okay, so you have to create your own life blueprint to be able to see all these things, okay? So if you imagine taking a puzzle, and what do? When we do a puzzle, we put the colors together, right? We put the outside pieces together and the inside pieces, and we sort it. So the things in your workbook that I have listed out on page 4, right here, okay? It's a list of 12 things, 12 action steps. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to create a life timeline. So what I would encourage you to do is, as you're sitting tonight quietly, just start to write out, not in any particular order, all of the major life things that you can think of from the time you were born till now. Okay? Don't worry about if you miss any. Don't worry about if you got the details. Just like for me, car accident, divorce, fired, new job, children being born, girls being adopted. Just write what your mind says, okay? Get that subconscious thought out. Let it freely flow onto the paper and get it out. Start creating that life timeline. From there, then you can sort it, okay? Like our puzzle. And you can start to put those pieces together. And as you do that, I promise you're going to see things that you're like, oh yeah, we need to add this into this life timeline. So creating a life timeline, okay, to examine the journey of your life. The next thing I would encourage you to do is you're going to want to do a brain dump of any kind of trauma, okay? Trauma defined how you define trauma, because something traumatic for me may not be traumatic for you, and vice versa, okay? Something, you know, I've heard people say, oh, a car accident's not traumatic if it's just a little bumper to bumper. I'm sorry. Who decides what's traumatic for me? Who decides what's traumatic for you? Be authentic to yourself with clarity and write out those things, okay? List of significant events, getting married, things like that. That obviously getting married shouldn't be traumatic, but that's a separate one of those little letters. So, and then I want you to write careers that you've had, hobbies that you enjoy, things that you do for fun. Write those out. So if it were me and I was doing this, I would have one sheet for your life timeline, one sheet for your brain dump. Excuse me, guys. One dump for careers you've had and hobbies and fun, and just start to let it all flow out on paper. Then I want you to come up with who your peers, who your mentors are, who your role models are, even like a celebrity role model. Then I want you to take those people that you write down, and I want you to identify what's common about them. If it's how they dress, if it's how they talk, if it's their energy, if it's what they're talking about, if it's their mission and their purpose. There's no wrong answer. Just start to find the commonalities between those people and write that down over on the side. Okay, so peers and mentors. Then I want you to go through and I want you to do like a quad. Okay, so just draw a cross in your middle of your paper. And I want you to write out what makes you laugh. And I mean laugh. Not just like, I'm nervous. Okay, what makes you laugh? And then I want you to put what makes you cry. An ugly cry. Remember when Oprah used to do that? She'd cry like that ugly cry. That's what I'm talking about. What makes you cry? For me, it's hurting women and children. I hate to see women hurting. I hate to see children hurting. And it breaks my heart. What makes you mad? Okay? So on one side, you're going to have the happy. One side, you're going to have the sad. Okay? So one side's going to be laugh and then overjoyed. And one side's going to be mad. Cry and mad or rage. Okay? And I want you to fill those out. Once you get this stuff filled out, I can help you put those puzzle pieces together to find you. Find who you are authentically, because you're going to start to see patterns popping up. Just like when you're locking those puzzle pieces together, you're going to find pieces that lock together to create you. Next, what are you really good at? Okay, so what are your skill sets? Not necessarily anything you went to school for. Girl, we don't need degrees nowadays. I mean, you do to get a 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 job, I guess, but I believe that education and online education is going to become the new norm. I don't think universities are going to make it. So back, that was a squirrel out moment. I want you to write out what you're good at, what you love to do. Like, one thing I have always been told in any job I've ever had is that I have world-class customer service. Because you know why? I love to make people happy. I love to serve, which is why I'm doing this with you. Because I love to serve. I love to make your heart smile, your life be ignited. Write those things out. You know, I hate punching a time clock. I would put that in there too. What I don't like to do. Okay? And then your values and your morals. There are tests online, like we talked about, that you can take to really determine your values and your morals. Or if you, I could print out a list for you guys or add it into the group, those values and morals that are important to you. Because quality time might be important to one person, but to another it may not be. Nobody gets to tell you who to be. Nobody gets to tell you who you are. There's one you, and that one you matters. So we have to find her. We have to help bring her to life, to give her that joy and that purpose. And the next thing I would do is I would challenge you, and this one's the one that may not feel as good, but I want you to write out, oh my goodness, you guys, I can't quit yawning. I'm so sorry. It has nothing to do, I'm wide awake. The rooted beliefs that you have in here and the internal voices. And this is where it might get tricky, okay? Because you might have some negative internal voices, some negative rooted beliefs. You might be addicted to, I know it sounds crazy, but you might be addicted to being hurt or to being poor. You might be addicted to attention. Those might be of course, Kylie called, sorry. And then the subconscious and conscious promptings that you have. Okay? I have promptings all the time. And I just write them out. I want you to look at those. Write them out. Okay? Really look for those connecting pieces of what your conscience and what your subconscious are saying. Because I guarantee they're saying somewhat the same thing. You just have to learn how to be quiet and listen to your subconscious. Okay? So those are the pieces that you're going to have to work to get put together to create that life timeline, that life story journey, so that we can begin to rewrite it, right? We can't do a puzzle if we don't know what puzzle pieces we have. We have to have all the pieces of the puzzle. And if we can't have all the puzzle pieces, we're going to have one missing. And then there's a hole. I don't want that hole to be there. I want to help you fill that hole. There's freedom in finding your new life story. There's freedom in rewriting your life story. And I want you to feel that freedom. I want you to feel that weight lifted off your shoulder. I don't want you to have that anchor that we talked about. I want that anchor to be gone. I don't want you to feel that heaviness of what society says you have to be or who you need to be. Girl, you're you. And you're beautiful and you matter. We have to find all the puzzle pieces, put that puzzle together, and make it the authentic masterpiece of you. We have to, and we can do it together. That's what we're going to work for. So by bringing clarity of your past life story, we can then begin to rewrite it in a positive manner where it's going to leave that impact to change your story. It still is going to take time, okay? We have to reprogram our brains. Once we rewrite that life story, we have to reprogram our brains to believe that that actually is real. And it is. It's just our mind, our wiring is so used to feeling the weight of that we have to reprogram our mind to understand that not all things happen to hurt us, right? Some things happen to us to free us. And I'll use the example of I was fired from a job that I had wanted for 7 years. It was the reason I went to college. That particular job, I was fired from it. Okay, but when you hear that, you think, oh, she was fired, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I did feel that way when I was fired. But about 2 days later, what I realized is it was a blessing, because I was working 60 hours a week. I was on the road nonstop. I couldn't be a mom. That job is also when my business came to a halt, right, Ashley? Because I couldn't get anything done because I was always having to be on the road. Okay? So what I thought was horrendous actually ended up being the biggest blessing of my life. My life. Because when I was fired, that opened doors, that quieted my mind, and I was able to get the missing pieces of this for you and I, to help us rewrite our life story. So, but remember, I didn't get that right away. I had to really sit with it, really focus on it and feel it, so that I could reprogram my thought process on why I was fired and see those good things. And you guys can do that too. It just takes work and commitment. So, let me take a drink real quick. Hi guys. How we doing? I'm glad you're here. We didn't have a dance party. Okay, so then after we've done all of that work, right? And I promise some of it's not gonna feel good. But when we work our way through that and where we go with that, that's where the freedom's at. Okay? That's where that authentic purpose can come out, where we can unlock the dreams that we have and start to work towards them. Okay? We can't work towards our dreams if we're stuck. It's just impossible. We have to break free of the chains that hold us. I'm so expressive. I'm talking with my hands. But we have to then begin to accept our past as our past. Our past does not define us. Our path has only created us to be who we are today. Sorry guys, my daughter's calling. So your past has been preparing you for the impact that you're to make. And if you guys didn't hear the download that I had in my heart, I don't think I have it here, but I'll share it with you guys again. I had it downloaded into my soul, my spirit, one night laying in bed. And it was that the world needs to hear your story and your voice. Your soul's calling brought you here today. The past has been preparing you all along for your passion and your purpose. Now the future is waiting for you to shape it. And I think that's so incredibly powerful because it's so true. So you have to allow yourself to be present and forgiving yourself for the things that have hindered you. And with many of you inside the group, when you joined the group, you shared that fear and shame and guilt were holding you back. And I hear you, I see you, and I acknowledge you. Because I've been in that place too. And honestly, there's still days I struggle with that as well. Okay, but we have to work our way through that. And that's what I'm here to help you do. That shame will hold us captive. That fear will keep us tied down. That guilt will cause us to hide. It's time to break free. It's time to break free of that. We're not going to cry again. I already cried once tonight in the live. If you missed it, you'll have to start at the beginning. So we have to be present. We have to allow ourselves to forgive. And it may be forgive ourselves. It may be forgiving others. And now we have to begin to rewrite our life story with an open mind and heart, right? We can't rewrite our story if our mind and our heart's closed off and cold. It's not going to work. And then we have to find freedom in our new life story. And it is so empowering, so freeing. And I'm so excited for you guys to do it and to work through this. And then from there, you can step into your purpose and your calling while while living a life free of guilt and shame and fear and anxiety and weight. You can be happy and be free. Live the life you want. You can do that. I want nothing more than that for you, for each of you. Because you are beautiful and you matter. Even if I never meet you, you have to know I believe in you. I am your biggest cheerleader. And you matter. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for taking the step to come join us and start to work through this process with us. And I hope that if you're not here live, that you can catch the replay and let me know. Just drop replay in the comments so that I know. We're almost finished up. Let's get this all closed down. So what I put in the workbook is, how would rewriting your life story impact you personally? What would that mean? For some of you, it might mean depression and anxiety goes away or lessens. For some of you, it might mean that you're getting out of a job that you hate, that it pulls you down. For some of you, like me, it might be you're like, I am volunteering at the school. You guys, some of you are still probably like, what? Why should I want to volunteer at the school? I'm with kids all day long, all night long. So how would that impact you personally? There might be some tears. There might be some pain. But I promise you, on the other side is so much joy and freedom. So much fun. So much fun. I sit in the car now and I just smile and I can enjoy the small things. I can see what was it the other day? A turtle. A turtle went across the street and I was like, oh, and I was happy. When I was stuck, I would never have even noticed the turtle. Okay? I know that's something so little, but to me that's so big because I know how stuck I was. And for you, I'm sure there are situations like that as well. So has there ever been a time in your life that you've made a decision that was in alignment and you could feel that it was in alignment? How did that feel? Go ahead and put that in your workbook or drop it in the comments. How did that feel to you? And then I also asked earlier in the workbook, was there ever a time you made a decision that was out of alignment and that felt yucky? And how did that feel? Because if we can take those two things, we can use that as a way to determine from here on out if you're in alignment or if you're more out of alignment with a decision or with a feeling. Okay? Those are important things to be able to recognize within yourself. What kind of positive changes can you experience by rewriting your life story? Is it possible that you could walk into your destiny? You could walk into fulfilling your purpose? Is it possible that you could become an even better mom, an even better spouse? Is it possible you could become a better employee? That you could become the inner millionaire that you're made to be? What could you positively, or what kind of positive impact could rewriting your life story have on you? And what would that mean to you? It is so, I wish I could let you feel, I wish I could let you see who I was before when I was stuck and depressed and down compared to who I am today. Because the energy that you would feel would be so much different. Okay? I know you guys, through the computer, through the screen, I know you can feel my energy. I know you can feel my passion. When I was stuck, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have been drawn to me. So let's close it up there for the night. And as soon as I get off here, I'm going to go post the homework thread for tonight. The homework is on page 6. Okay. Not a lot of people are doing the homework and engaging in the videos yet. So I'm going to challenge everybody to get started doing that so that we can have some fun together. Because it's kind of lonely over here all by myself. I mean, I like to talk, but I don't really like to talk to myself. So engage with me in the group. I just kind of cracked myself up because I do like to talk. So on today's homework thread, share the thing that excites you most about rewriting your own life story. I want to hear. And then if you have time and you have some things coming to you while we're doing this, you have the notes section. Take some time to journal about the pieces of your life that are holding you back. Okay, let's start to identify those so we can start to work through them. Okay, so do not forget, we will go live tomorrow night at 8:30 again. And don't forget about your homework. And let's see what else. Invite some friends. If you guys didn't get to see the beginning of tonight's live, thank you, Vanessa. I'm so glad you're here. If you did not get to see the beginning of tonight's live, there was I don't even know how long we had been on, but there was a time where you could really feel my heart start crying, because this is my passion. My passion is to help you change your life. My passion is to help you fulfill your destiny, to make the impact that you are made to make. Because there's only one authentic you. There's only one you made to touch lives of specific women in this world. And I want you to be able to fulfill that. So, invite your friends. And until tomorrow, have a great night. I love you. You're beautiful. Good night. Maybe.